Morning everybody, Craig Diatley here with Century 21, and we're going to be taking a look at 110 acres out here in the South Webster area on Neff Bratton Road. We're going to check it out, see what kind of cool stuff we can find, see if we can give you a quick little tour. So we're just about 30 yards in off of the road, and you see sunlight coming down this morning into this creek. There's two little washes that come off the middle of the property is on top of the hill, and there's two washes that kind of run out by the road. So there's one right here. You can see kind of runs down out to the road. And we spin around, you can see there's an old logging trail that heads right up that direction. And it's been timbered about, I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago. So part of the area is thick. We're going to be making our way through and see what we can find. So we're up here on the first little knoll. We're getting ready to drop over where the trees get a little bigger, and there's a creek, another creek on the other side. This is a really neat little pine thicket. Kind of runs around here on the top, and it runs on down across the top of this little ridge. So it's a good place for holding deer and everything. But yeah, pretty thick little pine thicket. We're going to pop out of this down over the hill, and I'll show you what it looks like over there. So we're cutting back across through the woods, and I run across, we've seen several pine thickets, but most of them were just Virginia pine, kind of low, scrubby. Here, scattered through this ridge line, it's a bunch of white pines. It's a long, kind of a long-lived pine. They're going to grow big and tall and provide a lot of shelter. It's pretty neat because they're scattered all the way down through here. You can't hardly see them this way, but there's even some more over that direction, scattered across this ridge top. And also saw some more aspens up here. A lot of turkey scratching. They've been working in here pretty heavy. So definitely good wildlife woods. And I haven't seen anything yet, but if we do, we'll be sure and tell you about it. So we've dropped down over the hill here, and there's a really nice, if you're looking to hunt, there's a really nice flat where it drops down. You can see it's kind of flat. Still a little thick. These are mostly poplars. They're going to grow pretty quick. One of the things I wanted to point out is right there, I don't know if you can tell or not, but that tree, they're waving kind of up in there. Those are aspen trees. There's a little stand of aspen trees, and they're not really good for timber or anything. One of the first things, if you're looking at wildlife management, is to chop those dudes down, and they're going to stump sprout, and it's good grouse food. So rough grouse are in the area, and that's a good thing to do for the young birds at least. They get those buds, and it's good grouse food. So nice little flat, and we got a bunch of aspen trees here that could be taken down and open up a little spot, maybe even a drum site or something like that. Yeah, pretty nice little property here. So we just crossed the creek. We're headed up the other hill, and down along the creek, I wanted to point out that they've left a nice little stand of white oaks and red oaks. You can see some trees that are 18 inches or so. There's not a lot of them, but there's a few, and they're good mash production, seeding out for, you know, some oak regeneration here in the future. But it's all along this little, you can see at the bottom, that little creek. That's going to run off the property line to the east. So we've made it out here to the far kind of northeast corner of the property, and I failed to mention that there was a nice, I don't know if you can see it here, there's an old logging road, pretty clear, easy walking all the way along that east property line once we get over in here. So we made pretty good time up here. Once again, we got a little pine thicket too. So this is about the third pine thicket we've come through on this property. Just good, you know, winter protection and good place for bedding and such. And we're going to skirt around. There's a couple saddles that we've kind of come across, so we're not hitting all the way down in the valley. We're going to cut across this saddle and kind of start making our way back to the road. So I'll catch you in a little bit. So we're almost to the northwest part of the property, and I wanted to point out this red oak. I got into a little stand of small red oaks over here, and I wondered where they were coming from, and it's probably seeds off of this big guy. I'm assuming it's a lime tree. It's been hit by lightning. You can see it's not in the greatest shape. But we're right on the property line, so there might even be old fence in here somewhere. But we're still on a pretty decent road around that east and north side. So we're going to keep heading around. It's about time to head back to the car. Well, I couldn't resist heading all the way down to see what was down here in this little cove, and I'm glad I did, because we left a fair amount of trees. You can see there's maples and white oaks and some red oaks and a few big poplars, but they didn't cut all the way down along this little creek, and so there's a nice little stand of woods here. Nice little flat too if you're looking to hunt, places to put stands and that kind of stuff. This little stream's going to run off of the property line to the west, so we're going to be heading up the hill here and try to make our way back to the road. So, but a neat little stream. You can see, you hear it running right there. We haven't had any rain for a few days, so there's still some water coming down in through here. That's a pretty good sign. We took a look at this 110 acres, made it all the way around. There's some good roads, there's some thick spots. We also saw some pine thickets, some white pine thickets, some areas that still had some big white oak, red oak. Anyways, if you're interested in taking a look, give me a call. My cell 740-285-2724.